What's going on, guys? It's Andrew here. So in this video today, I'm going to walk you through how to use Salesforce Flow to automatically create a task when a lead becomes hot or qualified. So that way your sales team never misses a follow-up. So first things first is you go to Salesforce, open up a playground in Trailhead, and it will give you a demo environment that you can play around with. So you need to go to Object Manager and search for lead, then select fields and relationships. Create new custom fields that are appropriate for the lead and make sure you select the appropriate data type as well. So for this instance, I'm using the pick list data type. You will then have to label the lead. I'm calling it lead temperature. And you also have two options here is you can use a global pick list value set, or the other is enter values with each value separated by a new line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the second option so I can enter in my own values, cold, warm, and hot. Don't forget to add a description and help text as well. And now that the custom field has been created, it's on to the next. So you hit save and new to create a new field, select the appropriate data type. So this one would be a number, and field label would be qualification score. So same again, I'm going to add in the description and help text. Also, remember the length. I don't want the number to be any more than three numbers. So I've added in 3, and in decimal places I put 0 as well. So you save that, and then you're on to the next one. The next one will be product interest. So this one I'm going to be selecting the data type as a pick list. Typing in the field label, product interest, and then of course fill in the description, help text as you do. Now for this one, instead of saying low, medium, high, we assign numbers instead. So Salesforce can do the maths and we can combine it with other scores. It works clearly inside flows, formulas, and reports. And using numbers allows Salesforce to make smarter decisions inside flows, so we can automatically determine whether a lead is cold, warm, or hot and trigger the right follow-up at the right time. I'm also adding a qualified date field, and this is really useful because it gives us a timestamp of when a lead actually becomes qualified. So this helps with reporting, pipeline analysis, and understanding how long leads are sitting in each stage. In this setup, the qualified date gets populated automatically when the lead becomes hot, so we're not relying on reps to manually update it. So now that all the fields are created, I'm going to add a validation rule to make sure that when a lead is marked hot, the rep is required to leave notes. The reason for this is accountability. If a lead is hot, we should always know why it's hot, whether that's discovery call, budget, confirmation, or signal of clear buying intent. So this improves data quality and also helps managers understand what actually is happening in the pipeline without chasing reps for context. The formula is quite simple itself. It just checks whether the lead temperature is set to hot and whether the notes field is empty. If both of these conditions are true, then Salesforce prevents the record from being saved, and it prompts the user to add the notes. So this way, Salesforce can be used to guide the right behavior rather than relying on training or manual follow-ups. So now we're going to create a flow. So what you need to do is you need to search for flow in setup and select new flow. This flow is what ties everything together. So the goal is simply when a lead becomes hot, Salesforce automatically creates a follow-up task for the owner. I'm using a record triggered flow on the lead object, and it runs when the record is updated. That's because we only want this to fire when the lead status or temperature actually changes. So now that I'm inside the flow builder, I am going to set field values for the task. This is where we define what the task looks like. when it is created, so the rep immediately understands what to do next. First, I'll set the subject. This is what the sales rep will actually see in their task list, so I'm keeping it clear and action focused. Next, I'll set the status to not started, so it's clear this task still needs attention. For priority, I'm setting the priority to high because this is tied to a hot or recently qualified lead. And the due date, I'm using a formula so the task is automatically due in a specific time frame. So it will be due for today. And then next will be name ID. So with name ID, I'm setting the name ID which links this task directly back to the triggering lead. So this makes sure everything stays corrected in Salesforce. And then after I've done name ID, I'll move on to assigned to ID. So for assigned to ID, I'm assigning the task to the lead owner, so it goes to the direct sales rep automatically. Then lastly, I'll be adding in a description. I'm adding a description to give context, so this helps the rep understand why this task was created and what action they should take. So I filled in lead marked hot, follow up ASAP, and update. So now I'm just going to create a test lead to show you how this works end to end. So I've set the lead temperature as hot, and it does not allow me to save it unless I add a description. So now that I've added a description and created the hot lead, you can see the flow has been triggered and the task has been created for me. So now I just need to follow up on this hot lead, and it also has a high priority and a due date for today. Another thing that I want to show you is how this can become very visible and actionable for the sales team. So I'm going to create a simple list view that only shows hot leads. And I'm also going to filter this. So where the lead temperature equals hot, it will show only hot leads. So this stays automatically up to date as leads change over time. So it can easily be viewable and you can see the hot leads that need to be worked on. Now I'm also going to add some columns just to help prioritize what is important. So things like company size, owner, etc. And also the date when the lead was qualified and stuff like that. And then this will be able to be visible on the list view as well by showing you the important columns and getting rid of the ones that you don't necessarily need to look at. So list views are great for day-to-day work, but reports are where managers and leadership get more visibility. So I'm using a leads report because we want to analyze lead quality and follow up on this with scale over time. So I'm filtering this only to show hot leads, and I'm also going to group by owner because it makes it easy to see the workload and follow up on responsibility across the team. This report can be used on its own or added to a dashboard for ongoing visibility. So now we've got automation for action, list views for reps, and reporting for leadership, all driven by the same logic. So that's how you can use Salesforce Flow to automatically create tasks based on lead qualification. If this was useful, like the video, subscribe for more real-world Salesforce use cases, and drop a comment if you want me to build another flow.